Hello and welcome to a video which will take you through the importing of a data file and then preparing it for a Mailmark sortation. So the first thing we need to do is import our data. So if I click on the green Add Input button, browse to where my data is, and I'll select demob.psv, pipe separated file. Open that and that imports it into the SwiftSort application. And it gives you a bit of idea about what the file name is, where it came from, and how many records there are in the file. Okay, if I click on this button here, it opens the import wizard, and I can go through and set the parameters for the fields within this file. So first of all, don't need to do anything here, it's just reporting back to me that it's a delimited file, so that's fine. All I need to do is click next. It then confirms that it's a pipe delimited file with a double quote field qualifier. So again, don't need to do anything at this stage apart from move forward to the next step. And the next step is about field names. Now if the file has a field header, as our one does here, shown on the right hand side, then check that box there and the sort now knows that the first record is a header. So it will discard it. We can now use this button here, use data, and what that will do is it will move the field names across to under the field name column. So select that, and as you can see it's identified those field names and repeated them on the left hand side. Now some of them will be okay. A1, A2 and A3 for example are the correct field naming convention for SwiftSort, so it understands the address fields. However, town, county and zip are not, so I need to change those. And I can do that either by typing A3 in the normal way, sorry, A4 in the normal way, or I can use my function keys at the top of the keyboard. So if I hit F4 now, it changes that to A4, then F5 and then F6. Don't need to worry about the country field. Okay, if I click next, there's a bit of processing we can do here for cleaning some of the data a little bit, such as putting spaces into postcodes, removing punctuation, duplicate lines and that sort of thing. Have a read of that. You may wish to do it, you may not. I'll leave all the defaults as they are. Click finish, and this file has now been imported and is ready to move forward to the next step. So if I click next, we now enter the mailing tab where we set the parameters for our sort. So the first thing to do using the wizard is click on item format here. You don't need to do that if it already says letter, as it does in our example here. But just to show you, if you do click that, you have the options to change from letter to large letter, parcel, etc. We'll leave it as a letter, so all we need to do is click next. You can then move through the wizard, selecting the various parameters, for example the carrier, Royal Mail or one of the DSA carriers. I'll leave it as Royal Mail. Is it business advertising or advertising mail catalogue? Well, we'll go advertising mail. And what level of sustainability? Let's say entry level. Okay, and we'll go economy. Obviously you can choose the appropriate one for your mailing, but for this example I'll use economy. Okay, so now we need to select Mailmark. Okay, so if you select that, and then when you move and finish this wizard, it will then change the form so that shows the relevant areas for Mailmark. So before that though, we need to set some other parameters such as the weight of the item. So let's enter 32 grams for example, or it could be mixed weight of course. Mail cell reference, this is a reference that will appear on the report. So if I type in cell 1 and that will then refer to that on the report, so we know which mailing campaign it's for. Selection range can be the standard 86 or 48 way, so let's go 48 way. Okay, now JIC, I won't cover JIC here, all I'll do is opt out, but there will be another video which covers the Joint Industry Committee, but we'll just choose that. Now down to the Mailmark area here, what we need to do is type in the supply chain ID or select it from a list. So if I open the list of supply chains, we can see here that we've got 4 set up, a couple of examples and a couple here. If I select this one here for Nat First Bank and click OK, that then adds the information there for the owner, payer and producer for that supply chain ID. We now need to enter a return postcode, so let's put 0x It does need to be a valid postcode, and of course you can store that in your default settings. If I now click on the 2D barcode button here, it opens a form where you can first of all select which barcode you want to use. So the one that's most commonly used is format 29. So let's select that, and it gives you 25 characters of area where you can put some free text in, or select a field. You might have an account number field or something you might want to put into the barcode. Let's, as an example, put in this weight indicator field here. Move that across, and that will then be included in the Mailmark barcode. And of course we can put some text in as well. So if I wanted to put the fact that this is cell 1 in here, I can key that into there, click the add button, and that will also be added into the spare area in the format 29 Mailmark barcode. Okay, we're ready to move forward now. So if I click OK, I'll set our barcode up. We can move forward to the next tab, and here you first of all put the output file name. So let's call this nat first cell 1, and then the client, project, and the project ID or job number. So our client is nat first, the project is autumn campaign, and our job number is 12345. We can now select which fields we want to output. So if I go back to the source area here, we've got our original input fields. So if I just want name down to address line 6, I can highlight those using my shift key and then use the right button there to add that selection. I can then move to system, and I can choose perhaps output sequence number, and then of course what we do need is the barcode, which is that field there. So let's select that, and we're ready to go. Click next and click the run button. Okay, down the bottom it gives you an update on progress, tells you how many records it's processed and what the stage of that processing is. And as you can see, it's completed successfully in 7 seconds. And just for information, on the right hand side, all the parameters that you used in setting up that particular sort are all detailed here. So if there's anything that you wanted to change, then you know where you can go back and change it. Okay, so that's generated that output. Now let's go and have a look at the output data. So if I drag that across from my other screen, we've produced a number of files, and the important one here is our output file, so nat first cell 1. If I double click that, okay, that's opened on my other screen, so I'll drag that across and we'll have a look at that. And as you can see here, we have the 2D barcode. So if I expand all the fields and then move across, we can see there's our barcode, Mailmark barcode, with the return postcode at the end, CR00XZ, our weight indicator of 5, 5 and 1 as we go down that cell, that column, and cell 1 that we entered as our fixed piece of text. So that's our barcode. It's probably important to say at this stage that all these addresses are fictitious, so these names do not belong with these addresses, so we're not breaking any data protection or GDPR regulations. Okay, close that down, and we'll now have a look at the manifest. So this is our Mailmark folder, and if I open the manifest file, which has the file extension of .gemma, okay, we can see here this is the manifest. Bit of information at the top about the, first of all, the supply chain ID, and then the owner, the carrier, the payer, and the producer. Other bits of information that are relevant are the bag information, and as I scroll down after a few scrolls we'll get through to the actual data itself, and here we have the first record. In here have the item detail, the item ID, which has to be unique every 90 days per supply chain ID, and which bag number this is, and so on and so forth. Okay, so that's the manifest, which you would now upload via Gemma to Royal Mail's EMHS system, ready for the collection of the file, mailing. Okay, so let's close that down. We're now finished, and thank you for watching. If you have any queries or questions about running SwiftSort, either Mailmark or not, then please contact support@thesoftwarebureau.com. or 0870 735 1320. Thank you for watching.